Nobody in high-stakes crime or power alliances has raised eyebrows quicker than Necati Arabacı or Alex Bodi. However, these two men are from two entirely different backgrounds, yet share underworld links. Their recent meeting in Dubai has set off a firestorm of conjecture. What does this alliance portend for international criminal networks? Who the hell is Alex Bodi? One of Romania's wealthiest men. He's what you could call an international playboy businessman worth billions. But then again, who's counting? Nearly all his dealings seem crooked. Some researchers claim he's got more front companies than the local dry cleaner. The only difference being that Bodi gets involved with overtly illegal activities as well. Private Eye dressed up as a classical Greek tragedy, wrapped conveniently in Armani. In 2021, he was accused of running an organized crime ring involved in human trafficking and other illegal activities. The last, however, doesn't quite cover everything about Bodi. He is also a man with connections, and it was just such a connection that led him back into the news recently. He was investigated by Diabolical for his alleged involvement in a human trafficking ring. This investigation revealed a network that exploited young women, sending them to brothels across Europe. Bodi's role in this network was significant, as he was accused of transporting these victims to their grim destinations. The investigation uncovered a web of corruption and crime, with Bodi at its center. His connections to the Hells Angels further complicated the case, as the biker gang was deeply involved in the network's operations. Despite the serious charges, Bodi managed to avoid significant legal consequences, continuing to live a life of luxury and excess. Who is Necati Arabacı? Meet Necati Arabacı, a feared and powerful figure of the Hells Angels, an international crime syndicate with deep connections to drug trafficking, extortion, and human trafficking. His criminal record is lengthy and bleak. Arrested in Germany in 2002, he was found guilty of several counts, including of pimping, human trafficking, and extortion. He was deported to Turkey after 9 years in prison, but he never lost his influence in the criminal underground. The Dubai connection. Dubai, known for its luxury, but also a hotspot for secretive business dealings. On November 2nd, Alex Bodi and Necati Arabacı were seen together at an exclusive restaurant owned by Romanian football coach Cosmin Oloroiu. The event raised eyebrows, not just because of their criminal pasts, but because of what their alliance could signify. Bodi's social media posts featuring Arabaci were met with mixed reactions. Some fans praised him, seeing him as a symbol of power and influence. Others warned that this public association could attract unwanted attention. One comment read, "With this picture, for those who know, you are the only mafia in Romania." Another stated, "The good world walks together." But beyond the bravado, there's a darker reality at play. There's something about power that draws people in. The way it moves, the way it commands respect, sometimes even fear. Throughout history, figures like Al Capone, Pablo Escobar, and John Gotti weren't just criminals. They became legends. Their names carried weight, not just in the underworld, but in the minds of ordinary people who saw them as symbols of defiance. For better or worse, crime has a way of capturing the public's imagination. Some admire it, others fear it, but few can ignore it. Alex Bodi understands this. Every post he makes, every photo with powerful figures like Necati Arabacı, every glimpse into his high-stakes world, it's all carefully curated. To his followers, he's not just a businessman, he's a modern outlaw, a man who moves in circles that most can only dream of. But behind the social media persona lies something far more complex. A man who's walked the fine line between wealth and crime, power and consequence. Yet admiration has its dangers. When criminals become icons, the line between right and wrong begins to blur. Young men grow up idolizing power instead of integrity. People see success without understanding the cost. And before long, crime isn't just tolerated, it's celebrated. Dubai is a city built for kings, a place where fortunes are made, secrets are kept, and power moves in silence. For men like Bodi and Arabaci, it's more than just a playground, it's neutral ground. That night at an exclusive restaurant owned by Romanian football coach Cosmin Oloroiu, the two men sat together, talking, laughing, making plans. From the outside, it looked like just another high-profile dinner among wealthy elites. But for those who understand the world they come from, it meant something more. People in their position don't meet for small talk. Deals are made over fine wine. Strategies are mapped out between courses. And when men with this level of influence come together, the ripples can be felt across entire continents. Was this a business opportunity? A reorganization of power? Or was it something bigger? An alliance that could reshape the landscape of international crime? No one knows for sure, but one thing is clear. Both men left that table with something on their minds. To the world, Alex Bodi is a businessman, an entrepreneur, a man who knows how to navigate the highs and lows of success. But behind that carefully crafted image is a darker reality. In 2021, his name was linked to an organized crime network accused of human trafficking, a web of exploitation stretching across Europe. The Romanian authorities, through DII-COT, launched an investigation that shook the nation. But Bodi, he walked away. He always does. Necati Arabacı, on the other hand, never hid in the shadows. His reputation speaks for itself. The Hells Angels connection. The common thread between Bodi and Arabaci. The Hells Angels. This international syndicate has been linked to human trafficking, drug smuggling, illegal arms trade, and violent crime. In 2021, Romania's Directorate for Investigating Organized Crime cracked down on a human trafficking network with ties to the Hells Angels. Among those investigated, Alex Bodi. Authorities stated that young women were trafficked to Germany and forced into prostitution, operations allegedly linked to Arabaci's broader criminal empire. What does this alliance mean? The underworld thrives on loyalty, power, and strategic partnerships. When two men with notorious reputations meet in a place like Dubai, it's not just a social gathering, it's business. Could they be forging new deals, strengthening criminal networks, or simply maintaining old alliances? Whatever the reason, law enforcement agencies across Europe are surely watching closely. Historically, criminal alliances have always played a major role in maintaining influence and control. In the case of Arabaci and Bodi, their association is not just about social connections, it's about expanding their reach. Dubai, a neutral ground where many international figures conduct discreet business, serves as the perfect backdrop for such negotiations. Authorities in Germany, Spain, and Romania have long sought to dismantle these criminal enterprises. With Arabaci still wanted by Spanish authorities in Bodi's past investigations, their public meeting is more than just coincidence. It's a statement. This raises critical questions. Are they discussing new ventures? Strengthening their positions? Or is this the beginning of something much larger? Experts on organized crime suggest that when figures like Arabaci and Bodi come together, it often signals an evolution within their networks. Criminal syndicates constantly adapt to law enforcement tactics, seeking new territories, methods, and financial channels. Could Dubai become a new base of operations? And if so, what would that mean for authorities trying to track their movements? Despite their criminal ties, there remains a public fascination with figures like Bodi and Arabaci. The comments on Bodi's post reflect a culture where power and crime often intertwine in public perception. But is this admiration misplaced? Or is it a sign of how deeply these figures influence certain circles? Social media has played a significant role in glorifying these personas, creating a blurred line between admiration and fear. This isn't the first time figures associated with crime syndicates have garnered public admiration. Throughout history, powerful crime lords have commanded respect, fear, and even admiration from those who view them as untouchable. The question remains, how does this perception impact law enforcement efforts, and does it contribute to the persistence of organized crime? Authorities must now decide how to approach figures like Bodi and Arabaci. With increasing international cooperation, could we see a renewed effort to dismantle their networks? Or will they continue to operate in the shadows, adapting to new legal loopholes and technological advancements? Dubai has increasingly become a haven for controversial figures due to its financial privacy and luxurious lifestyle. Many crime bosses and oligarchs have been drawn to its opulence, using it as a neutral ground for meetings. Could this be why Bodi and Arabaci chose this location? What does it say about the evolving landscape of international crime? The Dubai meeting has stirred intrigue, but one question remains. What's next for Alex Bodi and Necati Arabacı? A deeper alliance? A new criminal venture? Or the beginning of the end? As law enforcement closes in, only time will tell. Stay tuned as we continue to uncover the truth behind the world's most notorious alliances. Subscribe and follow for more updates.